How did practice go?
Good. We spent a lot of time just correcting our mistakes from the other night, and trying to learn and move forward, and hopefully we put that behind us, and looks like we had good focus. It's a resilient group. We just got to move on.
How much is that resilience? How much to see it be tested today?
It's going to be tested. I don't think there's any question. I mean, it was two emotional losses. Obviously, the way the other one became the way last week's became derailed. I don't think there's any question. The guys, the emotion of the events, it impacted our execution. I don't think there's any question about it. And just the way it transpired.
How the running game? How do you guys get that going again this week?
Well, obviously you got to have the ball. There's no running game when you have 53 plays and 20 of those are when you're down, late in the game and you're just trying to get back in it quickly. So, we lost 2 possessions in the first half that were critical. We didn't do a good enough job on third down on either side of the ball. That differential was a big part of the time of possession and possessions itself. You can't be a good running team if you don't convert on third down and don't possess the football. So it's all interwoven.
Can you talk about this Duke offense? They've given a lot of teams a lot of problems.
Yeah, they're good. Again, we're still moving on to them right now, but they're good. They got a quarterback that can run it. He's doing a great job throwing this year. They're veterans. They're veterans everywhere, just like the defense that we just faced. I feel that way about the Duke offense. Veterans, a lot of guys that played in the game a year ago, and a lot of guys that are playing with confidence right now. So, again, it's going to be a great challenge, and we got to go spend the rest of the day making sure we're ready and have a good Tuesday.
You go into a game like this knowing that it's more than likely going to take a certain number of points, probably a higher number than usual to get a win, just because they're pretty potent too on that side of the ball.
Yeah. Well, I always try to estimate, and communicate to all 3, units. Last week I thought 30 would have been just an awesome effort by us, and we ended up with 24. And with any measure of ball security, you can hit that number. But when you give them 3 short fields, 30 becomes 51 to win the game. You're not doing that against Virginia Tech. Nobody is. Alabama did. So it went about as bad as it could go the other night in terms of what you think you're going to do going into the game, and then both the play callers on both sides have to change quickly their game plan. We wanted to run the ball more, couldn't. We were behind. Again, am I answering your question? We're going to have an idea of what where we think we are on defense, where we think we are on offense. We're playing a veteran team that's playing really well.
You pointed the breakdowns yesterday, marching until Saturday night. Just one play here, one play there. How that can make all the difference sometimes. Are you at the point in the year though where you're starting to worry a bit that because your D's been on the field so much, that it may be starting to bend just a little bit more than you would have liked? And I understand that sounds like an excuse.
No,
but it's
also
the reality.
It's not an excuse. I'm answering your question. You guys know we don't want to be on the field for 20 minutes. So I think that's a fair question to answer without making an excuse. You guys know we don't want to have big returns and then fumble them. We can't do that. So 3 short fields against a team that executed well, capitalized, and plays really good defense. You just can't do that. You can't do that to your defense. It's not fair. And we all 3 units were responsible for the defense the other night. It's not just the defense. The special teams screwed it up for the defense. Okay, the offense didn't convert enough for the defense, and the defense didn't get off the field enough, and they had enough of their own mistakes. So all 3 units, were part of that deal, which is disappointing.
You plan on making personnel changes with those units, or do you stick with Stacy on those 2?
I'm going to stick with them. I believe in them. Really unfortunate for us, but 2 kids. It's not like they're 2 kids that don't love football or don't practice hard or aren't giving it everything they got every day. If that's the case, we got to make a decision. That's my obligation, as a head coach. But those guys, they're trying to do it right every day. Cornell did a great job too. We might see more Corn because of his effort, but now you got to stay with those guys. They're just starting their career, man. We got to stay with them and get something out of them.
I need to see the depth chart.
I'm sorry.
It's all right, but our whole scale changes, or
I
just,
don't. No, I mean, there's going to be some guys that need to step up and play better. You know, we need to coach better. We need to prepare better. We need to play better, and that's everybody in the building's got to get better this week. We got to improve, and competition is the basis of that. But there's no question, guys need to compete. Is there going to be wholesale changes? No, and I'm not playing those games. It's guys need to compete for certain roles or certain jobs. And again, I told you what the shame of that was the other night, is that I thought in terms of the effort of the Jamal Carters and the Elders and the Graces and Kirby and Armbrister and all those guys who played specials for us, Nate Dortch, it was an unbelievable effort. And to come out of there feeling like we lost the game on special teams, I mean, that hurts, because we did so many things well.
Going back to the Stacey and Artie, what does say about the dynamic of the team that you need a lot of these true freshmen to step up?
Well, I think everybody knows the dynamic. We're it's look, if you got to go get kids from other schools in May and June, you're not where you want to be. You're building it. You can say whatever you want. That's a fact of life. So we know where we are. But these guys need to step up. They aren't freshmen anymore. They gotta grow up, and they gotta mature, and they gotta help us. And we're not playing them because we don't believe in them. We're playing them because we believe in them, and they can help us win. Both Stacey and Artie have proven that. We just got to get past these little mistakes. But no, we're still trying to build it. We're still trying to get it right. We're still trying to develop depth. I mean, I keep saying it. I know no one wanted to listen to me, 5, 6, 7 weeks ago. We're not back. We're building, and we finally got the gloves off, and we get to go fight a fair fight, and we're going to go fight a fair fight. In the interim, we're going to keep developing these guys and keep moving the program forward. I know the seniors took great leadership today. They know what's at stake. They know how Duke played us a year ago, and they know what kind of game it's going to be.
Along the lines of the little mistakes that you mentioned, you guys are obviously teaching these kids everything, but is it, it just seems it's repetitive little mistakes. How is the learning curve for some of these kids to get to that 100%, so to speak? Is it a slow process? Is it just going to click one day?
Everybody learns on their own pace. It really depends on. I'll give you an example. For Dion, he missed 8 months of work. 7 months of work. So is he at the same level as Jank or KC right now, or AJ? No. So yeah, there is a learning curve there. He missed a lot of time.
I was just going to ask. It's funny. I was just going to ask about Dion on that play. The Stanford, is it with Joshua, the touchdown right on 3rd 17 before the half? He looked very tentative, almost timid. I don't know if that's the right word to say. I don't
want to buy your quote. If that's how you feel, you can write about that. We missed 3 tackles on that. So if there's enough blame to go around on that one. We missed 3 tackles, and we had some other guys that weren't running the ball you need to run to, and their kid made a great effort. They executed, we didn't. In the story, it's not Dion's fault; it's our defense.
In terms of Steven, obviously hasn't been the season he was hoping to have, but how have you just seen his confidence level, and how has he been dealing with?
I hope you guys saw it the other night, because I saw it the other night, and I am sky jacked right now, sky high from what I just saw. So I'm not discussing his leg anymore. I don't see the need to. He took off and ran on a critical 3rd down the other night. He really could have been 21 of 20. What was he? 26, 27. Could have been 21 of 27. We had 5 drops in the game, two big ones. So I think he's playing with a lot of confidence. He was 20 yards per reception the other night. 2 touchdowns, no interceptions. So we got to possess the ball more, continue to protect him. But I'm excited for him. And I was asked yesterday, are we gonna? I don't know if that was you or.
Sorry.
Well, what I'm saying is, Steven has been through a lot here. This is Steven's, year, and he deserves this opportunity and this platform, and he feels. I'm sure he'll tell you he feels really good right now.
When you have a passing unit that can obviously hit home runs, how tempting is it to not swing for home runs even more? I understand that they work because of the balance,
but you need balance. To answer your question, if you don't, you're left with a lot of 2nd and longs or 3rd and longs. So you need balance. You got to know when to take your shots. You got to wait for the look that you're looking for, and then take it. Obviously, it helps to have a guy like Alan Hearns out there who says, "Coach, next time we go out there, I can get this," because that's exactly what happened. And that's that kind of communication, that kind of trust is paramount. And taking shots.
Al, how good was it for Gudis to get that 49-yarder?
Good, and just the way he swung at it too. He had a great week in practice. He brought it to the field. Again, some of that is lost, and rightfully so. I know we're upset. Everybody's upset. Terrible loss. Not what we wanted, but in his case, you know, as in the case, some individual cases, a lot of guys brought their training to the game. He did. He swung freely.
All right, thanks, Coach.
Thanks, guys.